Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of that fat bottom end. You heard me. We've had another drip from the drop-off fairy. What has she brought us? A box. It's always a box, Jim. Yes, and I always say that it's a box, because it's a box. I like to send things in boxes. That's how it works. This is a box, and there's stuff inside. What's inside the box? That's the question. What's inside the box? A real star of our program. And, you know, Mr. Cuddy, he's going to help us discern what might be inside the box. For, ooh, that's interesting. We've also had a visit from the Serb Customs Ferry, apparently. Because, well, it's not quite open. I don't know what's going on here. That's very, maybe it's just a bad roll of tape from Amazon. You never know. Either thing is possible. I know people say all things are possible, but, you know, fly. No plane, just fly. Those people are annoying. You can do anything you want. Just envision it, and your dreams will come true. No, gravity exists. Shut up. Oh my. We get right into it. So, what is in the box? I know what this is, and I know what that is, but there's a third thing. Oh. I have bought adapter cables, apparently. So there, that's what has happened. Adapter cables have been bought by me. This is not really worthy of the video, but I'll show them to you. Why not? It's not so bad. Ziploc bag. I like this little Ziploc bag here. It feels amazing. It's like sateen. It's actually quite interesting. But little finger stuff. You guys know me and the little fingers. Can't have this size 32 ring finger and be wearing. They are 3.5 to 4-pin XLR, I believe. I'm going to, here we go. That makes it a lot easier to discern. Yes, this is a 3.5 to 4-pin XLR adapter that is very, very tough and rubbery, and I can make nunchucks out of them. And then I'll come for you. Come for you. I come for you. I come for you. Kung Fu treachery. If you know, you know. So, that was that thing. Here is a secondary thing. And this is because I made an order. It came in a bundle, and I was like, I have an extra couple of bucks. Which maybe I didn't. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know how this money thing. It's all fake. I don't know how it works. But this is an additional cable because I like decent cables, and decent ones are hard to come by. And for some reason in Serbia, no human being has heard of a 4.4 pentagon. Or a 4-pin XLR thing is really not here either. It's very strange for a person who does this all the time to walk out in the world and go, no, this does not exist. You are imagining things. There's no of the, go to the audio guy who does the audio things and can replace all your op amps and rebuild your amp. No, that's not, I don't know what you're talking about. It's very weird. It's like they live a decade or two behind us. Very strange. But let's go into what this is. This is a triple-in high-quality headphone cable, the Gran V, apparently, and that Gran V Elegia. I would think Elegia, but it's very strange. They also capitalize the G, which is also strange. It's an ergonomic street Guntang District Sanging. Oh no, that's just where it came from. It is a source connector of 4.4 balanced. It terminates in 3.5 millimeter, so it will go into most of your headphones unless you're one of those Odyssey people. I feel sorry for you. Okay, this is a box. There goes the box. Now we do. This is a bag. It's a decent bag. It's tough. You can put all of your powders in it. Not that I would ever suggest such a thing. Or your flowers. I would actually use this more for your flowers than your powders. But hey. Oh my, this is a rope. This is a rope. This is military grade. Let's go strangle somebody if you're in the Cosa Nostra. I can't say words. Yeah, this is a jump rope for cats, I'd say. At least you could double dutch with cats if you had two of these. That's a decent size. And I mean, you know, if you could do here, just from there, you could double dutch for hamsters. Get your little. I don't know. I'm black, so we do ropes. What do you want? Yeah, this is really nicely made. This is amazing. They even gave it a little in condoms, so you know there will be safe plugging. But the ends are really tight. The specs, like the stuff out of China is getting more and more respectable. I mean, everything's made in China, but the Chi-Fi stuff, the audio stuff is becoming amazing. This weave is very, very tight. I'm trying to untangle it. The knots are amazing. And this is a backup cable but this is high quality stuff here. Even just the bend, this is pro everything. This is pro everything. Pro everything, not con anything. Yeah, the fact that it's flat, it ends up being a flat cable, makes it harder to, and look, I already know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do it just so you can see it. I'm going to ball this up as much as I can in my giant meaty man hands, and I'm going to hold just this part with my left hand. See what I'm doing here? I'm going to do this and watch. Bro, that's it. It does not, yeah, it does the thing. It does the thing it's supposed to do. And there's no way it can be microphonic because it's wrapped. I mean, I can't imagine that it can be microphonic, but yeah. So they've done all the preparations. It feels good. You can put it in your clothing. It's, it's smooth. It's great. I mean, you might have to wash it. That's the only thing I could imagine. If it's like got some sort of, I mean, don't spill your berry juice or whatever it is you do onto this. That's my suggestion, but hey, you live your life. Could take it to Burning Man if you want to. But if that, I would take one of those janky ass, hi-fi-man Sesvara cables. But that's just me. You live your life. Go ahead, do your thing. Not mad at you. That's your thug dizzle. But yeah, the triple win cable is definitely it's a major go, as Fossey would tell you. That is for show. It's a go for show. It's a pro go for show. Now, le pièce de résistance. The reason we came to the party. We have extra pieces of stuff. The HarmonicDyne X Zeos Reviews, Zeos Panteras, Eris, 50mm dynamic driver. It's amazeballs. I'm going to definitely love the purple. Loving the purple. Gotta love the purple. I'm going to read the, it's a 50mm dynamic driver. It is a semi-closed back acoustic architecture. The input impedance is 32 ohms. The frequency response is 10 to 70 kilohertz. 10 hertz to 70 kilohertz in a free field configuration. The sensitivity is 118 dB to volts or RMS. The total harmonic distortion is less than 0.2%. The cable is a 4.4mm balanced cable. The ear pads are suede fabric and leather. The dimensions are 210 by 175 by 105 millimeters. The weight is approximately 320 grams without the cable. What is inside the box? The HarmonicDyne Eris headphones ×1, 4.4mm balance cable ×1, the user manual ×1, and the carrying bag ×1. I don't know why they needed to say ×1 every time, but that's what it says. And if you do not believe me, this might focus in. I don't know. Who knows? I'll do one of these, and I'll also do one of these. And as I turn around to show you this, the most Zeos thing that you can possibly say is that he has delivered a headphone with the bass violence necessary for change. It actually says that on the box, which, okay, you got my attention. Let's see if you live up to it, mofo. It's a good box. I'm going to, let's see, let's peel this mug. Okay. Made in China? Okay, that's cool. A collaboration between HarmonicDyne, I don't know what this means, HarmonicDyne and Zeos Pantera. Okay, cool. Now, Mr. Cuddy has to come back into service one more time. I have serial number 0315. 315. I have number 315 in the world. As number 69 was still out there, I was hoping. My fingers crossed, but apparently not. My luck isn't that good. I don't have that kind of luck. Ooh, fancy, fancy. It's got magnets holding it down. It's like it's very fancy. It's got a great, now that the wrapper is off of it, the image on there is really good. Like, simple, elegant, but, and I mean, you can tell that Serbian Customs has done their thing, but yeah, it's definitely, it's a very elegant package. It's not more than you need, but come on, Hi-Fi-Man, for $8,000, you can step this up. This is not that level of headphone. This is a 3-digit headphone. This is not no, stop it. So, actually, I'm big stuff here. Okay, thick foam. We have accessories. Accessories. The accessories. That's what I have here. Accessories. It's probably, yeah, let's see if I get my finger in there. Double books and shit. You know how that goes. Ooh. Why my finger feels so good right now? What's going on here, baby? Oh my. That is feeling real good right now. I don't know why it feels so sumptuous and delicious. Oh, look at this. Oh, this bag is for pimps only. So fuzzy, my God. I don't even know why I need this bag, but I need this bag in my life, and I didn't even know I needed this bag in my life. When you want to touch bags, and use bags, and make bags, oh, this is all you need, girl. Oof, lovely, lovely, lovely. It's like a Courvoisier bag. You read a Courvoisier? You put it in a bag like this. Okay, enough of Barry Mike. What do we got here? Oh, a cable. That's what we got here. And that's it for this. Accessories. Okay, we have ourselves yo, this is a lot more than a lot of headphones come with. A cable management. The cable came with cable management. I'm not upset with that. Honestly, it's just a little Velcro strip. It's all it is. It's even kind of annoying now, but it's something. I use these for my professional XLR cables that we run for microphones and stuff like that. That's all you need. This little wonder, you know, little ring for you. I ain't gonna say it, but you know what I mean? So, hey, it's not a family show, so I don't know what you expected. But yeah. Okay, let's move this out of the way so we can show you the cable. It's got a bit of retention. It's doing a loopy-loop thing. It's good looking. It's a good looking cable. I don't know why we need a shotgun shell like a rifle bullet exactly on the end, but it's a little much. I don't know if this is going to go into like your portables and things like that if they have a case on them. This is something that people do not think about in the hi-fi audio spaces, that things come with cases, and the cases you need a little bit more reach, let us say, if you are going to penetrate fully. I'm gonna stop now before I get fact checked. Managed. Susan is gone, but her spirit is not. So we have clearly defined and marked R and L indicators. There is a reason for that. I'm gonna come back to that in a second, but the fact that they are clearly defined and marked is good. I wish that they were slick enough to put a color on this so you can see it very plainly, so you don't have to really look for it, because it's still silver on silver or white on silver, whatever you want to call that color. I'm not sure if it's white or silver, to be honest with you, but on gunmetal, so it's silver on gunmetal, white on gunmetal, whatever that is, and it is a copper color, which I guess is the easiest way, but there's a lot of, this is a rubbery cable. Let's just put it that way. It's decent. I mean, I don't know what it sounds like. The weave is not, it's not up to schedule quality, but for the attached cable that you're getting in, you know, standard cable without it being an upgrade, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not, you know, it's not the worst. It's not the best. It's better than mid. It's got its own qualities. You know, this, the splitter is sturdy. All this stuff seems like an aircraft aluminum or titanium or something. I don't know. It's really strong. It's very rigid. Sometimes that's not always a good thing, but we'll see how that works out long term. I can't tell you about long term today. Okay, now going through the Sexalicious bag, we have the cable itself, we have the cable management, we have extra cable, did all of that. Let's get to the main show. For show. Very well managed inside of the case itself. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is Eris. Very snugly, and this did not have an iota, to move at all. The foam cut is supreme, high quality workmanship for Zeos's project here. It's a great box. And here we go. Oh, look at these. They turn and lay flat if you need them to. These will lay flat for you. And they are glass backed, ladies and gentlemen. Hence the very fuzzy, Sexalicious Courvoisier bag that you get with them. Oh my, I've had these for 3 seconds. I've put foot fingerprints on them. You know, us, you know, black people and fried chicken. No, I'm just kidding. They are very super velour. The pads hopefully rotate. They do. Oh wow, look at this. The pads, you can do this to them. And that is just the pad rotating. I can put this in any position I like. So this set of headphones, these pads rotate for a particular reason. This headphone has what we would refer to as a party trick. It has 2 modes. The drivers inside are offset. So you have a staging mode and a focus mode. Basically, you take the right out of the left out of the right, swap them, and then reverse the headphones. Now, the focus mode, the adult mode, the proper prim way, is that Zeos is never right. He says this himself. I'm not trolling. So that being on the left side will put you in the traditional mode. This is what they look like on the skull. A bit warm, you know, not for your summer in Cambodia or Sao Paulo, if you're on that side of the world, or Mozambique. I'm not trying to, you know, leave anybody in the hot out. But they are definitely, just putting them on my head, it's like a room treatment. It's like a room treatment in a high-end studio. Like the sound cut in the room instantly. It's in that way of things are being absorbed. The foam itself it seems to be not my particular favorite type of foam, but headphone pads have to be synergistic with the headphones themselves and the tuning, and they're a huge part of the tuning process. You can change pads and destroy a headphone 1 minute, the 60 seconds that it takes you to change them. So that being said, Coconuts of Barbados, this is a very comfortable set. I mean, I have a huge head and not the smallest ears. I mean, they're proportionate, but they're just the fact that my head is giant. I'm 2 meters tall. I'm a big guy. I'm well over 300 pounds. So the fit is, if it can adjust to me instantly, and I don't think I'm even at the end of this, I can probably stretch these out a bit more, a little bit, not too much, and they still fit. So yeah, then I have to really work to make them beat the shake test. So I mean, they're not there for the heavy. Wait, let me do this again because I didn't have it all the way tight. Let's go for the shake test. It's a little harder to get them off now, but they're not on. But yeah, so I mean, you're not going to Slayer with this, but you might want to anyway, because this is a smile of a headphone, allegedly. Let's see that's the design. We're looking for the bass violence. So let us insert our appropriate and focus mode extensions, left into the and left into the Zeo side, because he's never right. That is the wrong end of everything, Jim. How do you get around in your life? Who raised you? Who raised you? Okay, and as you see, these pads are very, very squishy. The reason I don't like super squishy head pads is because they run out fast and you have to buy new ones. And that's not my favorite thing to do. So I prefer them to be firm because I prefer endurance over, just honestly, if you've never wore a football helmet in your life, the people complain about headphone comfort to a level that I just cannot comprehend. The only things that bother me about headphones is if they cook my head, which these definitely are going to do. So this is not my personal preference. You can't sit here and edit for 10 hours with these things on, probably. Or you need air conditioning, just, unless you live in, Norway or something, in Iceland or in Greenland or wherever it is, it's really, really cold. So you get what you get. Can't really complain. Spring steel, so you can do some bending and adjusting to make them smaller or larger if you need to. This is, they only turn so much in one direction, but they do turn back a bit. So there's a little bit of that, but then there's flat the other way. So there's nobody's head this won't fit on in either direction. If your ears are this cockeyed to your head, you need more. You just IMs for you. I can't tell you what. There's no headphone that will live. You're not about this headphone life. This is not for you. So this is fine. This is better than fine. This is very articulate, and it's very light. It's very simple. It looks plastic on the outside, but trust me when I say that there is a steel band, a well-logoed steel band with a serial number on it. And on the other side, the other logo with the serial number. Because just so you know, I wasn't lying to you. So, let's go back into my... and it does have notches. You can hear them. All right, now, back on the head, squish it down to comfort. Good enough. And now, it is time to go to the device. You know we're going to the device. And just in case any of you, are wondering, we're going to go back to the box, which tells us that this is a 32 ohm headphone. You should be able to, your corduroy pants action should create enough static electricity to power these. You don't need anything in particularly powerful. I've heard that they can go on to some much, much larger things. And how do I hear? Well, there's a Telegram group for tungsten owners. So, buy one, get in the Telegram group. It's that simple. And, we trade songs of bass violence there. Now, this is a 4.4 Pentagon. I cannot put this into my cell phone and also it is it's a rifle bullet. So what I will have to do is use a 3.5 that will go into that hole, connected to an adapter that will. Now see, look at that. That looks like they were made for one another. They never met, but what a cute couple. That's a cute coupling. Get it? Okay, so we're going to take this thing and put it into this thing, aka my cell phone, which has LG V60 with a very powerful quad DAC. So the initial thing that I'm going to listen to is something called the Dune Sketchbook. And if you don't know about this thing, it is bass violence. He said bass violence. I'm looking for bass violence. The first couple of tracks I'm going to listen to, sorry. Before we do this, we need to explain something. I'm going to listen to these twice as first impressions because apparently in this particular case, break-in is a thing. It's calculated that you need about 40 to 100 hours, but usually 40 hours of clean playthrough, consistent playthrough, to get these to a place where they reach their full potential. I don't know if gremlins are in there. You need to scare them out. If you need to shake out the drivers, but this is a new kind of driver, and I will give you the type and all that shit in the second half of this video when I shoot it. This is a video that I will shoot in two parts. This is the first part, and we're going to look in the initial sound impressions. The second part, all I'm going to do is give you the secondary sound impressions. I've done pretty much everything else, except give you the fucking driver type, because I'm a douche and I forgot that there was a special driver in this. And this is not your normal, this is a different, sort of slightly different type of dynamic driver. It's still a dynamic. It's just something new that HarmonicDyne was trying. They gave it to Zeos and he loved it. Then they tried to review it or revise it. And he was like, what happened to the magic driver? So for some reason, he detected something instantly that was capable of doing something extra or special. And this driver is apparently it. So we're going to listen to this now. I'm going to run this just playing music, normal stuff. I'm not going to even use high tech. I'm not going to use a pink noise or anything like that. I'm going to let it play normal stuff, talk shows, whatever. I'm just going to use it as an air speaker for 40 hours. Then I'm going to come back and shoot the second half of this. Maybe I'll intentionally wear a different shirt so you know that I've done so. And what will happen is we will see if there is a difference, a substantive difference between the bass violence it was capable of producing, but also I'm going to listen to a couple of things that are a lot of top end, because apparently that's where this thing lives really well, is at the ends of the spectrum. It's supposed to have a lot of soundstage, and it's supposed to have the bass violence, as I keep saying. So the first track I'm going to look through is Dune Sketchbook. I'm just going to listen to the part where it gets basically violent. I'm going to do that for a number of tracks, and then I'm going to step away. That's all I'm doing here right now. I'm going to give you because it's a false first impression if the thing isn't really ready for prime time. So I'm going to give you what I think, and then I'm going to give you what I think again, and they're going to be immediate responses to what I had, but I'm going to have to deal with the audio memory, but I'm autistic as hell, so I'm pretty good at playing things back in my head that I've heard once. I know it's not a normal human thing, but I'm a weirdo, and my brain is broken. I can't clean my room, so, that's, got to hire a maid for that, so you can do things I can't. It's fine. Soundstage is a check. It's good. Okay. I think I'm already detecting what people mean. The bass seems not fully there. It seems like tepid. It seems like it's running into a wall, sort of, in a way. This is the Dune Sketchbook soundtrack from Hans Zimmer. Just get the whole thing and play the first part of the first track. You don't need a ton of it. The first 60 seconds is all you need. It's definitely reaching for sub bass. But the atmospheric effects are really underrated. Okay. At a minute 40, there's a sub bass tone that comes in, and I'm trying to memorize what it sounds like. Then there's just like angelic singing on top of that sub bass. Okay, got that. Let's check that in. It's good. Again, it seems like it's running into a wall a little bit, and I don't think it's my DAC, because I can play tungstens on these, and those are the hardest to drive headphones in the world. I am going to go to the Blade Runner soundtrack. This is Blade Runner 2049, Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wallfisch. Wallfisch? I don't know how to say that, man. Wallfisch. Okay, these are starting to rumble. Mind you, I've literally played these for 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, less than 3. There's like a Mongolian chant thing going on, and it's well voiced. Yeah, the mids in this are good too. Like I don't understand this whole the stage, soundstage, and bass. The mids are good. This is a very good headphone. Like it punches way above its price category. That's for dang sure. Whatever that means. I don't really believe in that, but everybody seems to, so I just throw that in there. Yeah, the soundstage in this is amazing. It's got pretty good placement and layering too. Oppenheimer soundtrack, Ludwig Göransson. Decent size of stage and presentation. It's more busy, a lot of things going on. Sounds great. Let's see what else. Lionel Loeke, HH. Soundstage is on point. I can check this hard. And they are capable of getting loud enough to overwhelm you, like to the point of pain. And this is in low gain, by the way. So there's no extra power coming out of the V60. But all the little clicks and pops that Lionel does with his voice, you can hear the reverb on the echo in the room. You can hear the difference between a classical guitar and a jazz guitar. Very clearly, there's a lot of refinement here. Intergalactic, Beastie Boys, and then we're going to stop. And we're going to see what comes back after we check these in. Sounds like the 80s. Scratches are into place, down here and down here. Very pinpoint. I know if you know the track, the ooh-wahs are changing sides. Okay, I get it. I have a baseline of how these sound down. I'm going to try to hold in my head, and I'm not going to listen to them for at least 48 hours, probably a little longer. And then we're going to come back and see what it's saying.
2 weeks later.
And we're back. Back to your drive time news and weather at 5:15 after the hour. We have done the burn-in thing. The demand has been fulfilled. The command from on high. The great Panther God has dictated. We have had about 100 hours in the burn-in rig, which is not a burn-in rig because I don't own a burn-in rig. What I have is a topping A70 that I basically use these things as computer speakers with, and had the discipline for this entire time, this entire run, to never and not once put them on my head, which means they had no bass. Or, at least, you know how headphones work. The further you get away from the driver, it's not really sounding like the headphones. So I didn't really have much of an illusion that I was going to get used to them or I wasn't spoiling the experience. Don't at me, bro. It's fine. They were more than arm's length away from my skull. That is not how headphones are used. I was listening to podcasts or whatever YouTube video I was watching and just never turned on my speakers for 100 hours. It's fine. Don't at me. You heard me the first time. Just don't. I'm not getting psychoacoustically used to them. None of that's happening. Stop. So what, and the topping A70 has, I think, 16 watts it's throwing at these things. So it's definitely making and it's very, very analytical. So it's making the drivers do the work and form in. In the Telegram chat for these, there have been several people who have more than one pair. They bought them side by side, opened one, burned one in, and then listened to them back to back. Zeos Pantera's done this himself. You can say, well, he shills his own stuff because he's a shill. Okay, cool. But people who are not him have also done it and reported there is a dramatic difference between burn-in and not. But it seems that this effect is not really scopable or detectable by electronics. There's something about the presence of the moving of the drivers after they're worn in slightly, which is 100 hours is nothing. I have a pair of headphones that I've had since the 80s, and I have used them in massive numbers of I have a pair of old Sony MDR 7506s that are just old. They're older than you probably. And so it is interesting that we don't have the technology to detect, and some of the best rigs, the difference between a burned-in pair and a not burned-in pair, but there is definitely a difference, and it's not psychoacoustic because most people don't care about this. They have no dog in this fight, and yet you still hear this, and it's a very certain limited number of usually dynamic driver types that have this experience. That being said, we are going to, there's a little house cleaning that we have to take care of. Because as a report, I plugged this in one time to 1 amp, topping L70. My rig is unfortunately hard to take apart. It doesn't move. It doesn't go anywhere. It's in one spot. And it's on a stand, and I literally hung the headphones on the stand, on a stick that is on top of the stand. I use one of those stainless steel kitchen racks, the industrial stainless steel kitchen racks, like you'd see in like a Gordon Ramsay movie or show or something. And he doesn't make movies. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I don't know why I said that. So it hangs there. It doesn't move. It says, hey, Jimmy Dore likes this, and pizza, and look, this is what happens in Brazil. No, here's and all the ads for gold and ball shaving things and Manscaped, and okay, all that's just firing at me. It's mostly voice. And whatever music's in the background or whatever in between videos. So I'm just shaking the drivers, and I've done this for an ample amount of time. Trust me on this. It's doing it 10 hours a day. As long as I'm awake, I just leave it on and leave something playing. And sometimes it's a 10-hour video of just, Nyan Cat or whatever the hell it is. Just hamster dance. Just let it go. So, and get hated on by the wife because, she doesn't want to listen to hamster dance after like the first 15 times. I don't know what's wrong with that woman. You should always hamster dance I should be doing it right now. No. But I'm not. I'm talking to you guys. So but she's an angry woman sometimes when I make the hamsters dance. Maybe it's because she's got little ears. She has very small ears and she hears maybe it's the high pitch. I don't know. So this happened in a rack that was still. I'm making the report. As you can see, this stress relief has come apart from the points that it is soldered. Here's what happened. At some point, randomly, I started to hear and I couldn't figure out what was going on because, again, they weren't on my head. I went to just unplug it, and I was going to unplug it and plug it back in is really all I was going to do, and to see if there was a problem with the amp. I switched the amp off first, turned it back on, still kept doing it, and then I yanked on this. I pulled it out. and then I put it back in. I'm sure this is just a QC issue. I mean, these things seem, the parts themselves seem overbuilt. Zeos told me to just push this part back in, which I will do now, but this is exactly what has happened, and this is exactly what happened to it. Just in the spirit of fairness and full disclosure, I'm going to shove it back in front of you as I'm speaking in this moment. And this is the internal stress relief, and I'm going to push this down as hard and as far as I can. Now, mind you, the buzzing stopped when I pulled it, and the stress relief kind of popped out. And since then, it has not buzzed. So it may start buzzing now that I have reinserted the stress relief. That is a definite plausibility. So we will know quite shortly, because I'm going to go back to listening to things, as we have now done the genuflections and the preordained ceremony and ablutions and, all of the great. So now I'm going to put it back into the adapter, because this is a 4.4 Pentacon, and this will go into a 3.5, and that 3.5 will go directly into my Celly. This is the LG V60 with a quad DAC. It's nice. It's an ES DAC, which is, what we won't hold that against it. And we're going to revisit the tracks that we've visited before, and I'm going to listen to a couple of other things within the same process. So we're going to go back to the head again, Zeos on the left, because Zeos is never right. And this is what we will refer to as focus mode. Remember, there is also Soundstage Mode, which now that I've turned them in, I will probably listen to a couple of things in that manner by flipping the headphones, but keeping the channels on the right side of my head, on the correct sides of my head. Not both of them on the right side of my head, you grammar Nazis. We're going back to the entrance scene, opening scene. Yeah, we're going back to the first scene of Blade Runner 2049, and I do believe the track is called 2049. Oh, that's immediately different. I ain't even turn this up. Cameraman looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Bro, when the evil comes, it's gonna make this sound. Oh, I'm gonna turn this up and see what happens. I'm here for it. I'm gonna go full up. Everything is tingling. There's so many tingles right now. Okay, see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get like 89 pairs of these, and then I'm gonna plug them all into this song, and then I'm gonna charge people for sonic massage. They're gonna come here, I'm just gonna play bass, and everything's gonna relax, and there may be poop. Everything is going to, this is something else. If you ever owned a pair of Skull Candy Crushers, if you currently own a pair of Skull Candy Crushers, I want you to go find them things and take a golf club and find a concrete wall and do violence from the golf club into the concrete wall with them and get a pair of these. The package was correct. This is bass violence, which, by the way, if anybody doesn't catch that reference, you immediately need to go watch Arcane. You need to, you need to go watch it. But it's a cartoon. Watch it anyway. It's amazing. Yeah, that's Blade Runner, Hans Zimmer, Benjamin Wallfish, Benjamin. Yeah, that was, I'm going to just, let's make my ankles tingle. What the PHUCC, bruh. I'm just like staring at the fucking phone. What the hell? Okay, I gotta move on. I gotta move on. No, I'm not gonna listen to that. Maybe later though. I think I actually will, but not right now. We got bass to test. Oh, wow. Okay, no. It's not a bad pair of headphones. It's not. I understand that it's not chasing the Harmon target. Believe you me, I understand it. And I also understand that people might be inclined to fix these. Don't. I'm autistic, so I get used to changes in audio. I don't have a long neurological burn-in time. I adjust to things very swiftly or not at all. Sound is one of those things I adjust to very, very, very quickly. It's sight, levels of light in a room. Like by the time I leave, if I walk down a dark hallway to my toilet, by the time I'm in my toilet, I can see everything in the room, and to you it would be pitch black still. So that's sort of a gift that I have So I can switch from pairs of headphones back to back to back, and there's no need for brain burn in after the first 10, 15 seconds max. And usually it's 3 to 5 seconds. The low notes, because this is just with Herbie Hancock's HH, it's one man playing one guitar. He's not doing anything, but the recording is so stellar that it's like a baritone guitar, and there's a lot of low notes in it, I'd say around the cello range. Those are thunder. They're so balanced. This is the more accurate. When you hear things in the world, this is the balance that it has. In my entire life, every piece of audio equipment that I have had has let the bass drop off so precipitously because it's hard to do. We are now at a technological level where we are far closer to being able to reproduce the absolute sound. I am not saying that these produce the absolute sound, but from a bass weight perspective, it is a lot more realistic than I would personally say HD 600s are. Like, I feel like HD 600s are, if you were in a room and you had bookshelf speakers or desktop speakers, that's what you're getting. They still lack a sub, and you can hear it, and it's annoying to me. Most people, I am a giant man, and I assume that my eardrums are also gigantic. So I don't fit in cars. Like, it's hard for me to work in the kitchen because my back starts to cramp because I have to bend down to the counter. I slouch almost on automatic most of the time because the world is so much shorter than me. I can't walk through doors without hitting my head. I'm big, dude. And even when you see me from far, I look big on my frame on top of that. So I assume I have big, giant eardrums because I got a big, giant head. You know, big ass melon up here. So I assume the rest follows. And because of that, I believe, I have a much lower range of hearing than most people. I detect low sounds that other people cannot hear. And high-pitched stuff doesn't really annoy me as much as it does other people. I see people like hard react to high pitch. So I assume I'm less sensitive to but that's the thing is, while I can detect that I'm less sensitive, I still hear, like, people think your hearing goes with aging, but like, I'm 50 now and my hearing's the same. Like, I still hear the same things on the same tracks that I heard when I was 15 or 12. Like, I'm not having hearing loss because I've been very defensive of my hearing, always plugging things into my head, always. You got to repeat that as many videos as you can. Defend your ears. If you're at a concert, go to the bathroom, make little balls of toilet paper, twist them together, make a reverse spiral, snap it in half, shove them in your ears. You will still hear the music. Trust me on this, but it will not blow the hairs off of the inside of your ears. And those hairs are what's letting you, those hairs wiggling is what's making you hear the music, and you will still hear it because they're blasting it at you like a jet engine. Yeah, this is remarkable. Like, again, I'm not saying this is the most technical driver in the world. I haven't done that testing. That takes time. But on first blush, I'm not missing detail. I do not perceive, this is a very detailed recording, and I know it very, very well, and I'm not perceiving that loss. I'm going to jump around a little bit, and they're incredibly easy to drive. Like, I have these at like, it almost hurts levels, and this is in low gain on my phone. It's fine. You can rock your head off with these. Yeah, and this is a very gentle track. It's very subtle, and I'm feeling the mood. I'm feeling the ambiance, as my wife would mock me for saying. Ambiance. Okay, there's not a lot to this track, so I'm going to definitely move on to see something more busy. Patricia Barber's Black Magic Woman, favorite around here. If you look at the frequency chart, you would think you were going to see a dip in the vocals. What that actually does is make them seem how do I explain this? They're slightly recessed, but it's like they're in a bowl that you're looking directly into the bottom of, and everything around the sides is coming closer to you. So it's like the vocals are here, and then the other stuff is closer to you, but around the side. It's a very particular effect, and I'm here for it. It's a different presentation, but somehow the vocals still feel intimate in a weird way because you're kind of focused in on them sonically. It's very strange. And when I say vocals, I mean electric guitar. All the stuff around 2K, between 1 and 2K is, oof. I'm not detecting a problem with Soundstage. It's a great track for Soundstage. There's a percussion section in here where they're just, you lose your mind. Yeah, this is tight. This is on point. So there's definitely something going on here. We're going to look at Yoshi Horikawa live at the Daichuji Luso Cultural Festival. Muso Cultural Festival. Move your lips when you talk, my love. Yeah, the burn-in has fixed the soundstage issues that I like. Like, it wasn't, like, this is much more coherent than it was 100 hours ago. This is something else. I'm gonna pretty much guarantee you if you see a review that's poo-pooing this, they didn't fully burn it in. And I don't believe in burn-in. Because this is a different headphone than I listened to before. This is definitely, because yeah, the background, his recording technique is flawless, and you're getting all of it. And this is just a YouTube. I'm going to go listen to a flack of this later, but yeah. Oh my, just the sound of flowing water. Flowing water and little tingling bells. It's like waves of rush. I'm going to switch to the Bach D minor toccata and fugue with drum kit and church organ. Yeah, the location placement is there. Big favorite, the Dune sketchbook. The first minute of this track is insane. We ain't even to the part yet. Dude. Really though. Why? Flying around your head. Yo. Dude. Really though. Why? If you ever wondered what it would sound like if an earth mover was running over you while angels were singing into your ear, listen to the first 3 minutes of the Dune sketchbook. That's just what you're going to experience. That is the sonic experience there. And that rumble contrasted, with those angels is very nearly a religious experience when properly manifest, as the kids say. Okay. Yeah, these are doing a thing that very few things can do. These are doing a thing that you should need subwoofers to do in your house. And your neighbors should come angry pitchforks at you when it happens, every time. You should be voted out of the homeowners association. You should be removed from you should drop your social credit score. Why am I suddenly doing Captain Kirk? I don't know. But I'm being moved to do things that I would normally do. Bones, you have to fix me up. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Oppenheimer. Okay, this is a very busy passage, and I gotta remember this is a $250 headphone, and this thing is comporting itself quite well for a $250 headphone. There is a lot of rumble in this track, a lot of sub bass, and all of the strings, and a few horns, and so it is giving me a lot of information, and it's being transmitted. It's. I mean, I'm not A-Bing it against anything. But I'm not feeling in my standalone subjective experience that I'm missing anything, that I can't. When I listen for one thing or listen to another or try to isolate these things mentally, I don't feel like I'm losing any of the data. And it's all being pushed through where it's supposed to be, not where it's not supposed to be. And it doesn't feel like there's any, it's weighted unnaturally. So, and that's the thing, like, these headphones have bass, but they're not bassy. They don't sound muddy. They don't sound like bad technology. This is some sort of new driver that was experimental that they've stuck in these things, and they were going to give up on him. And they gave Zia when the second time he sent them back after his first tweaks. They forwarded him a different driver on the second round, and he was like, "This is not the thing. I want the thing back." So kudos to his ears to be able to detect that difference even after time of shipping and all of that. And so whatever these drivers are particularly doing are magic. And they were like, oh, well, we tried a thing. It doesn't really work because they tried to tune this driver like a Harmon driver. And it didn't work. But he was able to see through the vision of this after listening to, I guess, 10 million headphones. So very interesting perspective and perception on his part to be able to parse exactly what he wanted and get it out of this particular, because these look like the Athenas or Zeus's, or which one of them, Athenas, I think, but the driver inside is definitely different. We're looking at the same chassis, but it's not it's slightly different, but when you look at it, you think, oh, this is that thing, but it's not. The actual engine in here is different. The mechanism is different itself. So it looks the same body, same chassis in the car, but the engine is more powerful. They put some more horsepower up in this beast. Now, I'm going to do some goofy stuff and go straight to let's go to real bass violence. Let's get this party started. If you know about music, and especially, my generation, Secret World from Peter Gabriel was doing that James Blunt thing before James Blunt was even born. So at about 4 minutes and 40 seconds, I'm going to say, but this is one of the best recorded tracks for everything. This track is audiophile as heck, but also got all the stuff. The bass player on here is amazing. Forget who this was. Excellent. That's the 80s there. You're getting that now. Maybe it was 90s. I don't remember now. I'm going to Flight of the Cosmic Hippo by Bela Fleck because, well, just listen to it. It's... Oh, instant ass. Victor Wooten and Bela Fleck are hitting you from the top and the bottom. And this track is one of the ultimate tests of a V-shaped headphone. And not doing so bad. Whoa. This thing is 250. The cymbal hits are really, really, really realistic. I gotta move on. I don't want to, but I gotta move on. Why so serious? Dark Knight, Hans Zimmer. That build on this track is just ridiculous. An air raid siren. Placement is exactly where it's supposed to be. Oh, yeah. I'm here for it. Old man bringing the funk. Bro, that low end is the truth. That is not lying to you. I_O, warning. If you don't want to wait for a bass drop, you just want to jump right in. Solo. Bass violence! Okay. Yeah. Okay. Caveats. These things are hot. It is summer here at this time. And they're hot. Can't run aircon while I'm doing the video, so that's what it is. Yes. This is not maybe most people's rec for their ideal pair of headphones. But if you already have an RER Organic, an HE1K, a Susvara, a Tungsten, the greatest headphones ever made, to be clear, Modhouse Tungstens. These are not that. These are not something that you are going to edit music on. These are not something that you are going to pretend to smoke cognac, cigars dipped in cognac. I was going to say cognac dipped cigars, either way, while sitting in front of your bearskin rug if you're in your, $1 million library with a bunch of books you've never read and probably can't because they're in Greek. It's not this. We'll save that for the detail boys. But I gotta say the detail's not gone. But this is a $250 pair of headphones. These are way better than anything in their price class. But let's be clear, they're fucking fun. They really are. And music should be fun. If you have a long commute, if you have some soul draining thing that you have to do and you need energy, these will bring that to you. These may not be your first pair of headphones, but if you're a guy who has a headphone collection and this ain't in it, you're missing out. This brings something different to the game that needs to be in the game, and that is the inverse of all this audiophile crap where everybody's trying to make everything super neutral and non-realistic. It has a realistic soundstage. Now, speaking of which, we get to the bonus material. I am now going to, as I promised, take this out of here, and this out of here, and switch them. This is what is being referred to in the Tungsten Telegram chat for owners and prospective owners of Tungsten as Soundstage Mode. Now this time, Zeos gets to be right. Don't tell him, it'll go to his head. It probably already has. And now, I'm not going to go back to the vase violence. I'm going to go back to the Yoshi Horikawa, the soundstage violence. We're going to go back to the delicate and see what we shall see. First things first, back to the Bach and rock. Okay. Okay. Headphones are the room in which you're listening. If I listen to music in a concrete room, we get all these reflections, I'm going to get all this stuff. If I treat the room, if I put a bunch of couches and stuff, that stuff's going to calm down. If I do it too much, it's going to sound like you're living in an egg crate in your head and you have a head cold. I just changed the room by just doing that. I'm listening to a different pair of headphones with the same technical abilities and the same tuning, but it's a different pair of headphones. Now, how this works is the drivers are offset. I'm not going to pull them apart because I don't feel like spending the 30 minutes to put the pads back on. But the drivers are not central and aimed directly at your ear in the manner that most headphones are. They're actually designed to fire into your ear canals, not flat against the side of your heads. We aim our ears slightly forward because they coordinate better with their eyes to detect things. That's why people turn when they hear something. That's why it's your natural reflex, because your ears are guiding your eyes, and then you can hear better when you're aiming your head at the thing. Hey, a couple of billion years of evolution, something has to happen. Wow. Whew. So when you get something that has a whole ton of room reflectance, because this is in a cathedral and an entire pipe organ with a drum kit all reflecting off of everything, that's this on steroids, crack, and probably some fentanyl thrown in there. This is a garbage party. I'm just going to push play again because, oh my goodness. I have a feeling that this is how he wanted to make them in the first place, but he knew that he would get too much. Like, this is definitely something different. Like, the bass thing was different enough. That was sort of a trick in and of itself. But now, how do you have a party trick headphone that has a secondary party trick? It's like a transformer with a third. It's like the triple Transformers when they had to, outdo themselves. I'm old. Don't worry about it. But you can look it up. My goodness, this is gorgeous. This is really fun. I'm gonna go back to Oppenheimer. No. Yeah, I am. Because I'm saving Yoshi Horikawa. And okay, yeah, it is what it is. That's just different. Yeah, this is magnificent. He stumbled into something here, because there's no way he has the technical knowledge to know that this was going to happen. Zeos came out with the Rinkos in the videos on the channel, and when you flip the phase on them, they did this kind of sound stage thing, and I thought, that's amazing. And now I listen to them phase flipped all the time. I just put the positive and negative and positive. It's fine. But unless I'm literally playing a video game with these things, I don't know that I would put them in focus mode anymore. Why? This is insanity, and it's so good. It really, really is. The sound of rushing water. I'm going to give one little glance back to Herbie Hancock, played by Lionel Leckie. This album already has a ridiculous soundstage. Okay, I will be here all day. Yes, if you have a pair of HD 650s or some Sennheiser stuff. I mean, I'm not the hugest fan. We've gone over that on this channel, but you need this in your life. If you already have regimented, idealized things, this is the party. Zeos is definitely done it again. This is his third product, no, fourth. I have not experienced the Dunos because they were a very limited run and too expensive for me to gamble on. But this is sort of, he takes risks and he just tries things until they work. And sometimes that's all you need to do. You just need to be Magellan, just get out there and see what happens. And the man has done it. Love the purple. Love the feel, love the fuzziness. I'm afraid if you get them sweaty, that will become, but velour is a thing. Hopefully they're washable, but they are replaceable. They do sell replacements. I know that the cups are out now. The pads for the cups are out now, but the pad for the headband is supposed to be incoming. It's not quite to market yet. They've had to do several runs of the entire thing, so they haven't been able to catch up. Thank you, Zeos. This is an addition to my collection that I will not neglect. This is something that is fun. If you are smoking or something, this is your headphone. If you are listening to Hendrix, if you are rocking out, if you're doing your chores and you need energy, like I said, this is something. At $250, I mean, I understand that, if you're beyond cost money for headphones, which is a great selection, but you're not at tungsten money, grab yourself a pair of Koss. That'll give you your straight thing. Maybe you have the Rode headphones are very, very clinical, very good, and have the cooling ear pads. So those are kind of the opposite. These are the warming ear pads. You can have a pair of summer and a pair of winter, but those are very analytical and meant for editing and film work and stuff like that, because Rode is a film company. If you have something serious, then grab yourself a pair of these and party the hell out listening to somebody's art.